You know, it's interesting, whatever business you get in and whatever you decide to do that's going to give you excitement, leverage every single day to show up, you got to be able to bring it on a daily basis, and then you got to be able to study it. Today, we're going to talk about 3 things that you need to know about life insurance. Let your money work for you. So here at Epic, what's been interesting is we have gone from, and this is all about process, folks, and I'm not bragging this for me, it's for you. We've gone from 8 to an average of 600 new sales meetings a month. And during that time, we've also gone from 7 to 20 advisors. And along the way, you'll pick up people that really begin to sit and fit with your culture. Somehow it resonates and you kind of know somebody even though you didn't meet them before because you share characteristics. And when light attracts light, what really begins to happen is massive acceleration. Today, I want to introduce one of our new partners at Epic. His name is Anonio Vaglica. What's up, brother?
Doing well, man. How are you?
So good to see you. Antonio is a new member of Epic. He's a driver. He's an outcome-producing warrior. And he's going to bring some really good information about life insurance as well as his own entrepreneurial ventures. Antonio, can you share with some of the, at least 3 things that these folks should definitely know about whole life insurance and how it works?
Yeah, so let's slow it down right there and let's keep it really simple and real high level right now. Let's just go with the 2 basic forms of life insurance. Let's go term and permanent, specifically being whole life insurance. So I want you to think about term very simply as like renting the policy. You're going to get a lot of death benefit for a very small amount of money because you don't actually own it.
It's for poor people, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think term is very important because of the fact that there's an insurance need. So let's say you get a mortgage and your cash flow doesn't allow for a more larger policy. You might just go get a term policy to cover the mortgage just to make sure that, God forbid, something happened today, you have the insurance need in place.
Can they convert that when they start making more money?
Absolutely, and those are the intentions. Term is very cost efficient now, but as you let it play out longer, it's going to get a lot more expensive. You're going to come back, have to get more insurance. You're going to be older, you're going to be unhealthier, it's going to be a nightmare. So that's why you want to make sure that you're planning properly with guys like Rob and I to make sure that you are eventually converting, I like to consider upgrading to permanent policies.
Awesome. So it's not a termite?
No.
Okay, excellent. What's the next thing?
So let's talk about whole life right now. So 3 major advantages to whole life. So you have a guaranteed death benefit, which is huge, right? But when we're customizing policies to make sure that we're growing our cash value, it's not the biggest priority, but I want you to think that the death benefit is very important. Now let's go number 2, guaranteed cash value growth. Now, while a lot of your money could be working in the stock market, could be working in real estate, all there, you want to make sure that you have a portion of your assets in a guaranteed asset class to make sure that it's growing no matter what the volatility of the stock market's doing. And then third, let's talk about the fact that when we work with mutual companies, you're actually what's called a participating policyholder, and that makes you eligible for dividends, which make these policies skyrocket, and you're actually getting a really nice rate of return uninterrupted.
And in that space, they become an owner of the mutual company, correct?
Absolutely.
As a participating policy owner. And by the way, if it's non-direct recognition, which is, you know, really if you're in the space of becoming your own bank, or if you want to purchase a lot of real estate and really kind of strategize your money, as Antonio just said, uninterrupted rate of return, the non-direct recognition is very important to that overall planning process. As you can hear with Antonio, he's a star is born, folks. I mean, obviously you know that he knows his game. And Antonio, if you could share with the folks, because, you know, obviously you love saving people's lives and you love providing financial education. Why don't you talk a little bit about your mission?
So my mission on the insurance side of things is to make sure everyone has the opportunity to have financial security. What most people realize is that this massive gap in generational wealth can be completely eradicated with just a small little check just to make sure that the family stays in the house, that generational wealth is continuing to carry on within the family. So definitely implore you to think about that.
So Antonio, let me ask you a question. Where did it all start for you?
For me, it all started with baseball. Baseball was everything for me. I went to baseball with a side of school, I like to call it. I traveled the world for baseball. I went to boarding school. And unfortunately, for things out of my control, I didn't play at the next level.
But when you say you went to boarding school, what was that like? Where are you from originally?
So I'm from New York originally.
And where did you go to boarding school?
So I went to boarding school in North Carolina for high school.
So at what age were you?
I was about 16.
What was that like?
It was great. It was very fearful in the beginning because it was unknown. I didn't even check out the school when I first went there, but I just took a deep dive and was like, hey, this is going to be better for my career.
Now, was that your first, because one of the things that we always privately talk about, and for all you entrepreneurs out there, the level of acceptance of uncertainty you could possess, the faster and the quicker you could accelerate. And I know in my life, I've had certain levels of, I was really nervous or uncertain about something. And when I stepped in with full faith, great things have happened. Was that one of the first times that you dealt with uncertainty and the back end of it was a massive result, or is it something you always used to doing?
Yeah, so I was always that type of guy that honestly, like, I saw an opportunity, I just dive deep and then ask questions later. So I always thought, what's the opportunity cost of me not doing this? And so that's why I'm always taking massive action.
And then you went to boarding school, and what were some of the things that happened?
So the boarding school was great, taught me a lot. Learned how to do laundry on my own. That was a huge thing.
Yeah.
And
I just figured that out last week, but go ahead.
So learned how to become a man, a young man, still a little immature.
Amazing.
And then got exposed to a lot of Division I schools down south and got the opportunity to play down there.
So like anything else in any kind of business that you're in, or any kind of, let's call it a success pod, right? The more you're around people that are doing what you want to do, right? The quicker, you can kind of leverage off of each other and accelerate pretty fast. And it sounds like to me that, that was a stepping stone or a springboard to be able to get a Division I scholarship. Is that 100%? Correct? A lot of people don't get Division I scholarships. What's that like?
Exciting.
Yeah.
Also allows you to inflate your ego a little bit, which I don't advise people do. You still got to humble yourself and start back at the bottom, because now once you get into college, especially a Division I school, everybody there was the best player at their school. So now you got to start at the bottom and continuously work your way up. You actually have to work even harder.
So physically you may have been on par with folks, but at that point, somewhere along the line, it's more of a mental game. Is that a fair?
100%.
And has that translated to you becoming a life insurance agent?
Absolutely.
Can you share a little bit about that?
So being in this industry, there is tons of rejection, failure, uncertainty, and the amount of times you fail in baseball, if you fail 2 out of 3 times, you're still an amazing player. So just dealing with that failure and understanding that, hey, I just got to keep moving and keep going and constantly learning. Yep. That was the major lesson for me.
Yeah, and what Antonio was speaking about is, in the business that we're in, where we're serving and educating good folks like yourself on how to maximize insurance policies for an overall planning strategy, so you could become an entrepreneur and have your money really work for you through leverage and liquidity. He's talking about how our business is like a contact sport. The more people you contact, the faster you can accelerate. That's the first part of it, but there's also a mental side of the game. And you've, not to mention any carriers or anything, but you've had massive success at such a, you're new in the business for how long now? How many years?
About 2.5 years now.
And your success track is where is it at within the industry norm? And this is for the folks out there that could gain some hope.
Yeah, so I would say, especially for guys my age, which I'm 24 right now, this is not an industry which is made for you to excel at such a young age. And I, just grabbed the reins and just kept on going. So I was in the upper percentile for anybody, especially kids my age.
So this video right here is really for you to really understand the game of life insurance. Because if you make everything a game, really good things could happen.
I want to make sure that I'm empowering people who were playing sports specifically in college, and their entire life was all about sports, and they committed their entire life to playing professionally. And 95 to 99% of those people are now in the workforce, right? And all their external forces in their life are just telling them to get this BS job, honestly, just to start making money. When all of these athletes, when I'm talking specifically about athletes, they're really good for sales. They're hard workers, great work ethic, disciplined, amazing for career opportunities such as sales, entrepreneurship. So I want to create a community of like-minded individuals in that space to give them opportunities to work with people like us, to work in entrepreneurship, and go about fulfilling their mission.
That's really impressive, because I know in the space that I've grown up in the recruitment side of it, they specifically look to recruit athletes because athletes have a certain discipline of process. And to Antonio's point, because of the mental side of athletics as well as the physical discipline, it does translate well as long as there's integrity involved in the game of sales, in the game of influence. And it's a really cool community. I'm wishing you the best of luck with that. Thank you for sharing that. And for all the folks out there, listen, every single day we are dropping content. We are bringing valuable information. We are here to serve you. We invest money into our channels so you don't have to. What we ask is that you click the link below and subscribe. More importantly, if you have any questions, throw a question out there. If you have any success stories you want to share, please share that in the comments below. And last but not least, if you want to speak to one of the members at Epic, they will just reach out to us. They'll reach out to you. No obligation on your side, and they will provide world-class education and take you through the success process.